had them out in the garage. Half of them were not even open. They came back as return to sender, and nobody researched why they came back, who they are. Even if it was one lot per person, that's like $14,000 that was just wrapped up, hidden in a safe. I mean, in a file cabinet out in the garage. Those now just, why did these come back? And we're going out and reassess, sending out new assessments to these people that, hey, sorry you didn't get your assessment back when everybody else got theirs, but here's your assessment because of the address. They're built for full lots. They're just mistakes, and they just, on them. But that's the current stuff that we're dealing with every day. It's just the mistakes on the assessments we did send out. But this is 60 of them that just came back and just got hidden in a file cabinet.
Remains 2025.
2025. They're 2025.
And the other thing too in the system what we're working on too is going through, and we build people on lava lots in 22, 23, 24 full to 200, and then in 25 we build them 100. But if they're a lava lot, they never should have gotten built in those years anyways, because there was no assessment on that. That's why the old balance sheets show we have $690,000 coming in, because we bill people that shouldn't be billed. Or county bought it, we bill the county, and we still bill the old owner. So that's a whole cleanup thing going on right now too.
Did you ever find out how many lava lots got billed for 2024?
Yeah, I sent that to John. John, you send it to him?
42, 43.
How many people got billed and how many paid?
A lot of people bill, and only like 43 paid. But we're already making a list to reimburse these people.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
But it was like 217.
Well, that's the other thing we're going through.
740 lava lots.
Right.
217 got billed.
Got billed $100, like 44 actually paid the $100.
There's no consistency in the billing here. There's no consistency.
But now, as lots are counties buying more lots.
Isn't that a little inconsistent?
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible, and everything's like that. Everything's like that.
So why was this so inconsistent? What was the purpose of that?
She's not here anymore.
Chris, we'll save the questions and stuff till the end.
Okay, let's go to
Okay, so
committee.
Hey Janice, yes, the monthly reports on the website. This is the website, or it says I only see the ones for June out there. Are
Yeah, I
they?
got July.
You've done them all, right? You've been doing them. I think I've seen them.
Well, some of the other ones were kind of.
Are you updating them? Or
I'm updating the best I can until I can
Okay.
get all the information into the system.
Yeah.
That's why I started.
I went through the same
23,
things. That's what I was
24,
asking. So.
25,
Yeah, okay.
because what's in the old system,
Yeah.
it's totally wrong.
Okay, but they will eventually.
Yeah, I
catch
mean,
up
I got
with
most of my payables in. I'm doing deposits now. We're doing deposits now.
Mhm.
Getting deposits in. Payroll, I gotta find it all.
Mhm.
It's not all together, so it's like I'm seeking and finding and entering as the best I can for what
I'll see
I
if
have.
you were working on it, but it was a website issue. So.
No, I'll send these to him later. These will be the Julys in there.
As Janice said, in the past, for 20 years, the money from the cell tower was $2,000 a month, went into a rec fund, reserve fund, and all transfer fees is $200 every time a lot gets sold. They would get a transfer fee from the title company. Well, now that a lot of them coming in, the transfer fees are $200. Oh, but hold on, we also got $100 lava fee here. So those are accumulating now. But anyway, that always went into a rec fund. And the tower money, the transfer money was only supposed to be used for this facility right here. Nothing else ever. What we find, as she was saying, that the money in our bank looks huge. They weren't putting it in any kind of rec fund, reserve fund. It was just going in our bank account.
Yeah.
And so it inflated the bank account, but there's no money in the rec fund, reserve fund. And so I told Janice, let's $2,000 a month, $24,000 last year. Take that out of our bank account, stick it in the rec fund.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to make up for those, the last 2 years that they were just putting in the bank account for no reason really. I don't know why it changed.
I don't know. It always
we resurrected those funds.
Yeah, the forms we sent to title, it says prepaid Any dues to LC Community Association, and then there's another line that says transfer paid to LC Rec,
That's
and
fine.
it's not, so I had to rebuild the form and print it. So as the new checks come in, I'm holding the $200 aside to start
It goes into that
depositing
fund.
into that account.
We need to have enough money in our reserve fund, so if you see a lot being sold and it's gonna be auctioned off next week, we could send somebody down there and maybe pick up a lot now and then if we had money, right? There's no reason why we couldn't pick up a lot and then clean it up, sell it, get rid of the house that's on it, and make money that way also. So we're saying we should have money in our reserve fund to do things like that. Something good.
All right, okay, we're gonna save all the
Wait
questions
for
for the end, so we
okay.
can just get through the officers and committee reports. The secretary's report, what I was, going to speak about, was covered mostly, in what Rich was saying, and there's going to be some comments I'll hold till later on. But at this point, I'd say there hasn't been a lot to report as far as the secretary's report since the last time. And so I will punt till later in the meeting when I say what I want to say.
Do you handle the website stuff, or, I mean,
We have a webmaster.
webmaster?
It's
I mean, but what he publishes?
He's sent the notices and so forth, and yeah.
I just noticed there's, I mean, none of the past agendas are, only the current ones on there. Is that by design? We're not gonna keep old agendas on there for past meetings? The minutes seem to be there.
Yeah, I
not the
suppose
agenda.
that you want you to say you'd like a catalog of the past agendas.
I'm asking, we did before, so.
I don't see why it's a problem. Usually we have a discussion as a board on what would go up there or what would be appropriate. A lot of times people ask us to put things on that are more business related.
Sure.
And so we try to sort through those and so we don't clog up the website with a bunch of things.
But I think agendas are part of the legal documents of the association, so.
Yeah.
Having them available out there might make things simpler for everyone.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna ask for
and a second thing, I actually got a call.
Just wait till open forum. Let's get on with that.
All right. It was directly to do with this on the Zoom stuff.
So we're gonna ask members of the working groups to step forward if they have anything new to update the board on. Would Miriam like to step forward, please, and give us her, you're gonna have Michael's maintenance report as well? Okay, thank you very much.
I have Michael Hallenio's report, which I could read his daily duties, which are listed here. Closer? Okay. Since the last board meeting, this is Michael's report. Monthly shoulder mow, complete for the month. Sidearm will be starting Nohea Street and continue down the subdivision. Currently catching up on the cane grass areas. Park grounds, I reinstalled the 2 playground equipment that had been relocated to make room for the playground structure. Currently, I'm cutting back, sorry, I have some eye issues. I am cutting back overhung trees and brush with the pole saw weekly. I finished pressure washing the sidewalk going into the building and started on the stone wall borders, and will continue power washing the stone walls. Please contact me if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening. Michael Hallenio. And if I could at this point in time to just do my little aloha welcome spiel here. We're still hoping to, on September 14th, it's a Sunday after the plant sale, have a welcome aloha meet and greet, talk story, and have a few people willing to help me. Like I say, it's after the plant sale, so come early, go to plant sale. Love to have a couple volunteers. And I just want to quote Bob, spirits are high, weeds are low. Anyway, I would like to donate another canvas piece like that possibly to put over there on that ugly whiteboard, and this was an idea of what I have considered. So,
What is it? What's it?
Beautiful.
it's Fisher Age.
Mhm.
Yes,
Alright.
it's been edited, and it's one of my favorite of all the pictures.
Yeah.
Good
Tie in,
picture. Yeah.
kind of tie in with the other two. So, anyway, I think that's, anyway, so I'd like to donate that, but I'll talk to y'all. One more thing on Michael's part, or our part, is that we were hoping to have a black cinder delivered. Sanford can't deliver until December 22nd. I put in an order, and then just putting in a request. That's a long time from now, but wishful thinking, would love to have a load of black cinder so we could continue doing more.
You're gonna wait till December.
December 22nd,
Oh, okay.
literally. So
Okay.
that's my report. What?
I have a question, Mary Ann.
Yes.
When you say using a pole to cut down overhanging branches, do you know where that is at?
Along the streets.
Okay,
As a matter of fact, he drove by my house the other day when I was getting the mail, and he had the poles on the back of the truck. It was going around the neighborhood.
yeah,
you have
I
a-
just, that was an issue previously with the treasurer wanted him to do it for his girlfriend. And I went around and did an audit, and there was 1,660 trees overhanging. And it should actually be the lot owner's responsibility, not the community's expense.
Agreed, and I would also say too, if there's anyone that's having issue with maintaining the, I don't know what you call it, the edge where he mows, if they can report to Michael or myself or whatever, would be happy to come over and help them cut back the monstera on Onaloa, for example.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Architectural, I already threw out what we've got, but if you've got any favorite hits, there's somebody in your neighborhood, either talk to Neighborhood Watch. You might know who somebody in Neighborhood Watch, and get the information back to me so we can get it to the architecture committee. We can go out and talk to these people. So a lot of you know, we're driving up down the streets, but there's places, a lot, I mean, half these places you can't see what's back there. So if you got a neighbor and you know it's a trash yard next to you, like, between the Neighborhood Watch person or myself, get
What's
the
a trash
information to
yard?
us. What's that?
What's a trash yard?
Trash yard, cars, junk cars.
Oh.
Trash.
Oh, you can
Trash.
dump on the
There's
street?
I've seen lots with 50 trash bags in the yard, right? That sort of thing. Anything. Anyway, get it to us so we can add that to our list. Okay. All right, that's it for architectural. Lava lots. Who's?
Well,
Last I
Jim?
heard, we were waiting on written confirmation from the county about whether you get a building permit on lava lots or not. That's what I was.
I got a permit on
They're saying
my
yes.
lot.
We
That
called them
was-
and they said yes.
I'm
On
saying
the lava.
with our committee group, whatever.
Okay. Well, Jim can speak for us, for our committee, and
Yeah, Chris is technically accurate. However, the county won't give us a written report that says we'll approve this and not approve that. What they did do, and I went to the finance department, the planning department, and the permitting department, 3 different ones in the same building. What they did say in the permitting is that we were hopeful that the county could give us a list of, we will not approve these lots because there's lava on them. And boy, if that was the case, then we would be able to tell our membership, let's not bill these guys because the county won't ever allow billing.
I think you said that wrong. Not, we weren't hoping that. We were just trying to get some guidance on how to, like, we were gonna piggyback off what they wanted to do. Like, if the county says, oh, you can't build on these lots, okay, well, that's easier for us to, say, okay, well, these lots, we can build on it for you.
But
It's not on us.
but permitting, they're saying that they'll give you a permit. They don't care where the lot is.
That's what we hear.
That's what we've been told.
Well, that's the official guy, Adam, in the planning department, researched, went and asked everybody, will you approve lots with lava on them? And the answer is,
yes,
the county doesn't care.
right.
Right.
They will approve them.
Yes.
Yes, and so that complicates the lava lot committee. Our issue at the lava lot committee is which lots do we, if any, want to bill? And if so, how much? Is it fair to bill somebody that doesn't have road access the same amount of money? So there's a variety of questions, and we haven't come to any recommendation. Our policy as the committee will be to bring our recommendations back to the board and report, and then we can have a discussion of what we should do. It will probably continue, by the way, until the next annual members meeting.
Mhm.
But hopefully by that time, we'll
Just
have
beginning.
our stuff together and we can make a motion.
Mhm.
Rich, you said somebody wanted to build on Mountain Mine, they got permits already?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, then if that's the case, then that
Yeah.
really settles it all.
Yeah, it's already, it's the surveyors
Good
out there,
stuff.
they surveyed it, staked it all off, yep, they're
Cause I was
Yeah.
talking to Douglas Lay and he's like, oh, you can build, but then you can't get the septic. I'm like, well, how?
No, I
how do you
did.
do that?
I have a
Yeah,
5-bedroom
it-
septic
it-
dug in the, just
Yeah.
as hard to dig one in any property here.
yeah, yeah.
It's all rock.
Yeah.
But,
But
yes,
this
ma'am.
is just what he said. in
It's just
front of me.
easier, you don't have to clear albesias on a lava lot.
And by the way, just so you know, no offense to Douglas Lay, he's a very good man. He's the guy in charge of the buyouts. He doesn't have anything to do with permitting.
right,
So,
right.
and
What is Helco's position regarding bringing power to these properties?
you know, that's a great
Nope.
question, and we haven't been to Elko, but
No, they are not intending to bring power to,
Everybody,
they are not restoring power. It's something that potentially our community can keep pushing for.
everybody's considering now they're all gonna be off grid. I mean, they know that already, so they're setting up for that.
Part,
Thanks, Jim.
part of it.
then, do you want me to go ahead and give the election one
Yeah.
since I'm up here?
Yeah, yeah.
The election,
One more, before you do that, I just wanted to remind everybody that our bylaws require that the assessments be,
Same.
pushed pro rata. Everybody's lot has to pay. I looked up pro rata, what she said, and that it means prorated accordingly, like, so if you got full service, half service, no
Right.
service, then you do it accordingly to, you look it up. No, that's not
Well,
what it- well,
okay.
but it's-
that's not a topic of conversation we can resolve here.
Right,
Right.
Just make-
right.
But we'll get an opinion on that.
I do have one question for you. Are you going to have a final set of recommendations adopted in time for us to set assessments for the 2026 year?
It's a great question. First of all, the assessments should come from the new board, the 2026 board.
The budget will be established based
Less.
on spending, and then we'll end up what the
Yes.
assessment cost. So we're gonna have to play with that prior to issuing the assessment on March 1st,
Right.
depending on what the result of this.
All that's on the cap. Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Which if I can add that, the aspect of having communication online with the community is, we need to understand what the lava lot people, who they are, what their intentions are, what they need. If they do want to come back and build, how are we gonna start establishing potential road infrastructure?
To do assessments or anything, as part of this, I mean, you guys have to define what a lava lot is, so we know which ones are lava lots. So in case, like you're saying, if there's a difference in assessment, so you guys gotta get that
Right.
going quickly.
Yeah, there are some lots that have 5% lava, some
Yep.
lots that are 100% lava, as in the one on Makamai.
Yep.
And so there's many issues we're not resolved, but we are
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
So I'm telling people, if you live on a lot, I don't care how much lava's on, if you build a house and live on a lot, you're paying assessment like anybody else. That's what I'm telling them.
Okay, the election committee,
Yeah.
we did not meet in the last few days officially. Everybody on it has been working here, trying to go through a bunch of papers and so on and so forth. However, we have input, and the way this works, at least with one of the possible providers, Election Buddy, for free, so there's no cost involved. We can actually create ballots, proxies, the whole things, and send them out in a test for up to 5 people at a time. So I have here on the clipboard a ballot testing, and the people that are on the committee have seen it. We have the Leilani logo, the names of people that ran. I'll probably change those to unidentified individuals with their bios, the whole thing, just like the package you would normally get in the mail. You can get it electronically. As somebody said that doesn't have email, we can do electronic and we can do paper ballots. We get to determine, and by the way, this one company that I'm talking about has done 40 some odd million elections, so they're pretty versed in this stuff. A lot of HOAs, but we get to determine if somebody returns both the paper ballots and they replied electronically, which one do we accept? Because the system will not accept both. So we can say, go for the electronic, for example, and they'll just discard the paper. And it could be that two people in a household got confused, somebody mailed it back and the other one did it, so you can see how that can happen. In any event, we already have proxies, ballots, nomination form, I think, everything in the computer. And what I'd like to do is pass this around, and it simply says ballot test. If you would like to be one of the people, if there's 20 people, we'll do four exact same tests. All you have to do is say, I take my 7 votes, or in the case of Chris, maybe 70 votes, and apportion them this way, and you can do multiple lot owners can vote according to 7 per lot. So the computer knows all that. We tell them, but if you would like to receive electronically, we're not going to do mail at this stage, just electronically the ballot and see how all this works. We'd love to have it tested and shaken out. So I'm going to pass this around, and if you simply print your name as legibly as possible in your email, I'll put you on the list and we'll send you out within the next week electronically. That's my valuable pen.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you also the nominating committee, or is that possible to have a nominating committee?
Done electronically?
No, just nominating committee, of people that want to run for the board.
Where's Jim Freeman? We talked about backing up so that we can get nominations in by the end of November. That's not for me to decide, but it's open to the group. Yeah, hopefully, I mean, I don't know if everybody wants these same 7 people, year after year after year, or hopefully new people.
No.
But it's nice to see participation. So anybody here that wants to run for the board, consider it. As long as you're current on your dues, you can run it. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Audit committee, audit prep.
Thank you. I don't have much to add from what's already been said, but just a reminder to everybody that there's 2 kinds of audits. One is a general audit to determine accuracy and completeness of the books. The other is a forensic audit, which the members mandated. The forensic audit is very different and only looks for fraud. So there's 2 processes. The year is required to be appointed by the board according to our bylaws, and that's to do the general audit. In our discussions with the providers, they've all said the same thing, that if we're going to do both, the forensic audit ought to go first. We've recommended a forensic auditor who's local, who's very experienced, that's with the board now, and hopefully they will find time to discuss with him the process and to get this moving forward.
Good.
No, we need a forensic,
Yes,
because we already know that what's in the system
right,
as well.
right. But my point is that the consensus is that ought to be done first. And that doesn't change the need for a general audit or hiring an auditor, which we have to do anyway by our bylaws.
The general, I would probably propose to do Covenor, since they already
Yes,
have all our information,
we would
have all
agree.
the notes they sent to be fixed and wasn't fixed.
We would agree.
Yeah.
We would agree. And, you know, and I think just another word about this forensic business, forensic auditors are as rare as hen's teeth. There are very few available. Our alternatives to this fellow in Hilo is somebody in Indiana or Ohio or, you know, some other place. So we think that that's a good choice, and we hope that the board will agree. So, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Jim Friedman, CCNR's bylaw changes that we need to make.
Short and sweet. We're just about ready to go out. We're waiting on a legal opinion that is in with the lawyers. The very narrow legal opinion. We want to make sure that we're within the voting guidelines that currently are in our bylaws. Had a good meeting with Rod today and went through a number of issues and found a good thing. I got to call him out as finding something that we had neglected to go all the way back to the charter and hit. It would have still been in effect because the charter overrides the bylaws, a higher level document, but now we can get those two documents in sync. So I thank you for your close review and the work you did on that. We also met with the election committee to make sure that the timings we were putting in place matched up with their expectations in terms of the timings required in order to give the proper lead time. It's a sensitive time of year for everybody because it is the holidays over Christmas. We've got that worked out and everybody's happy with that. So I think we're about ready to rock and roll. It's simply, I'm waiting on this one narrow legal opinion and then we should be able to go ahead. As Rich reported earlier, the board has approved the expenditure to mail. This will be a total mailing. There will be no electronic component to the vote on these bylaw changes because we haven't yet authorized the fact that you can do electronic voting, right? So everybody's going to get a package. Everybody will get it in written copy, and we're going to ask you to return it. As soon as we get that opinion, we'll get this out the door. We hope to do that early next week, and that'll enable us to get a decision on whether or not we're going to do this in the September timeframe, which will enable the election committee to make its recommendation and the board to select a vendor for electronic voting next year by the October 1st deadline we're establishing in the Leilani calendar. And that's it, unless anybody's got any questions. Jim?
In order to change the bylaws or the CCNRs, that requires a members meeting, special session, right? And that requires a forum to, as we did at the annual members meeting, before the recommendation is passed. That's correct.
That's one way of looking at it. It doesn't necessarily require a meeting if we conduct a total vote of the membership. If we get enough people designating that they were there for quorum and participate, or they vote as a part of it, which basically means they were present, we can skip that special meeting. It is our intention to run a special meeting a week or two before the end of the vote for all of those in the local community who would like to come and discuss those things and answer any questions about that. But it's impractical to do that. And this is such a broad topic that we want to involve the whole membership, not just the people who physically live here and can easily make a meeting here in the Longhouse. Anybody else? I saw, yes, Jim.
The issue I have with the way you phrasing it is, the county, now up to 188 board, they will only provide a proxy that says, we don't want to participate in the politics, just counties for the purposes of making the forum.
Yes, I understand.
Right. Yeah.
That has been their policy to date. There have been at least one occasion now where the county has voted in an HOA election because they didn't like the direction it was going in. So there is that option for them because they do have the right to vote as members. We will approach the county. They're going to get the same package as everybody else. And we'll talk to them about their participation. One of the things we're creating on all of the election ballots is you vote yes, you vote no, or you vote present for quorum purposes, not voting. Okay? So we're going to make that easy for everybody going forward. If you don't want to vote, but you still want to be there as a member, that's fine. If you're not able to vote because your voting rights have been restricted for non-payment of assessments, you'll be able to check that box without having to show up at the Longhouse and be physically counted. You'll be able to be counted as a member, as is your right as a member. Anyone else? Yes.
Good question. Is this bylaw change only about the elections? Nothing else can be added, is that right?
Bylaw change is about enabling electronic communications, and that's across all the things that we do. For example, when we send out assessments, it's going to enable us to send assessments electronically rather than only by paper. When we send out notifications of meetings, we'll be able to send those out electronically. When we send out newsletters, we'll be able to send those electronically. It establishes the Leilani website as an official repository of information for many of the types of notices and notifications that we do, in addition to the other things that we send out. So it is broader than simply the election. Well, we're basically putting the plumbing in place to be able to do the election, right? Because before you can say, well, we're just going to do electronic elections, you've got to authorize electronic communications across a whole spectrum of things. Then you layer the election on top of it. That's all plumbing and piping to make our lives easier. Down the road, we'll look at additional changes to the bylaws that help clarify some of the points in it and provide us with additional functions and features that match the reality of who we are now versus who we were in 1969. Anybody else?
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. All right. Members list, is Sarah actually in here? You want to kind of give us a update on what's going to happen, what needs to happen there?
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I have to stand on my toes? Thanks, Sean. Okay, I appreciate it. Members list, what I had completed, I also got a list from Rod. Thank you very much that I was able to forward, as well as another list that I had. And so the 3 have been forwarded to the office so that the office can start looking at the lots that are in there, the TMKs, if it matches up with the TMKs, and that the owners that the office has on record matches with what the county has on record. And as I said before, last month, my records are only as good as the county records, so they could be a few months out.
Well, we just got all the new sales that we added there.
Absolutely.
Right.
So from this point, as far as I'm concerned, it's been handed over to the office. Any updates will be done by the office. And Cindy said that as she updates the spreadsheet, she'll put a date at the end, so you always know which one is most current. And so there won't be a mix-up among them. And if I can help in any regard with that way, I'm happy to. Otherwise, I feel that it's been passed off to the office.
And the county records, like I have a second lot and it's not on there anywhere.
County records
So
are
there-
county records. I cannot speak for them.
2.5 years ago.
Yeah, I cannot speak for them.
So the
It's
county,
something that'll need to be cleaned up with the county between the owners that are on record, I guess, and new owners, but that's beyond me. Okay,
okay.
thank you. Oh, sorry, Jim?
Rough numbers from where it was, which was people not even ever receiving a bill, to where we are today. If we improved 50%, 90%,
I would say like 65%.
Yeah, there was a lot of updating, and I would agree with that, Janice, that it's about 65% updated from where it was.
Oh, jeez.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you for all the committees and working groups. Okay, so the work's going forward, and thank all of you who are on a working group. Old business. Have we, Rod? Is there any update on the park going up? Nothing at all. Okay. Okay. So the park grant, we told them kind of what we want and where we spend it, and we got contractors ready to go. Anyway, no update yet. Okay. New business. We already talked about the mailing. Complaints about residents complained about that's an old subject. interest in opening up. If we're talking about getting rid of guardrails and opening up, getting rid of a year ago. I mean, the previous board said we gotta take down the barricades and we're gonna send Michael out to have him collect them. That never happened. So the barricades are still out there. If we go down Leilani to the end, and you just go straight ahead 50 feet, you're over Nohea Street. You've crossed Nohea Street. If you turn left, you're looking right at Nohea. You turn left, you go 80 feet, you're on asphalt. It would take nothing to open up that end. And, we could get a volunteer here in the association with a backhoe to go out there and just take out a little lava. And right now, anybody who lives out that way, they're all using Capono Street. They're all going up Capono to go over to Nohea, go to Luana, whatever they live out that way. So it would relieve some of the traffic on Capono Street, and it'd take nothing to open that up right there. So anyway, I'm throwing that out. Something we need to consider, or maybe there's 1,000 reasons why we can't do it, but it would take nothing.
On the street, on Nohea things, I think some of them like the privacy, but we should probably ask them what they would prefer too. Is it a benefit to us?
Well, it cuts down traffic down Capono, so I don't think we need to ask them because of that. I mean, it's a benefit to a lot of the people that live out there. Yeah, Capono. Yeah, a lot of traffic. So anyway, and if we opened up, I mean, like the guy's gonna build on Makamai. If we open that up, we gotta have signs as well. Right now, you go down Paukai and suddenly you're on gravel, and the sign says pavement ends, and we gotta put something up there to say, hey, pavement ends, because now you're on cinder. And so we need to think about that too. So any suggestions, get them to us, get them to Mark O'Neill. Yeah, because something's got to happen because people are going to start building. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Are you saying remove the barricades at the end of Leilani and people will drive on the lava?
No.
The other barricade on Nohea? Is that what you're saying?
No. No, Stacy?
Oh, or the other Nohea going to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Down here.
Okay. I was like, whoa, that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Go the other way.
I think that, where Leilani still was owned by the county, once that barricade down, I think it's more accurate, like maybe 250 feet. That was quite a walk from the guardrail to where you get
50 feet.
Anyhow, it's a ways. Anyhow, the asphalt, if you haven't been out there lately, the asphalt's mostly grown over with ground cover. There's a footpath about, a foot or two wide, and then the trees have encroached. If the county were able to take and service their what they normally do along Leilani and cut that back, and then if volunteers, including Michael, maybe using our equipment, could pull the guardrail at the end of Nohea North, and then we would then have to do the scrape of the road with the bucket and then cut the trees back to give it the easement, or what's the other word? Not easement, but
Access.
the
Right away.
right of way. Yeah, just improve it to its normal or its original condition, and then what's left is a telephone pole holes and some wires, and it seems like it would be a relative. I mean, this thing's to address obviously having to do with what happens when the lava is removed. Do we put gravel, or do we have to pay to asphalt it? It's just, I think it's worth asking the residents that live on Nohea how they feel about it. I was thinking for reasons of ambulance and police access, they don't have to scramble down here,
Good point. Safety.
So that was, I actually had brought that up with Rich. It just seemed like something to chew on. Yeah.
My understanding in our charter is that we're responsible for maintenance of all the
roads.
Other than they lie.
Correct.
So it's clearly falls in our province.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
At the point, I don't know what the liability of the LPA is. If we open up that property, somebody goes in and has their foot and pulls into a lava tube or something. I don't know what is there.
There's
This is on asphalt.
When you get to the end of Leilani now, Pete, there's several signs there that say hiking is prohibited, no parking. Those could be moved downward to.
So the prohibition will then be still available. Okay.
I mean, they're there, I mean, just be moved down, to where the lava would then continue forward. You know, I think it's, you know,
Put the
something
guardrail
worthy
down
of,
there so people don't just go flying through. But I mean, if you got the sign, I mean, it's no different, like I said, than going to College High and, you know, past Mark's house. Right? Open forum.
so it's open forum at this point, if you want to, bring up your issues, Mark.
I personally would talk to the property owners on O'Hare Street before we try to open up the Leilani Avenue, trying to O'Hare. Only because they might not like the idea. So get a consensus of those property owners on O'Hare Street first, and then.
Oh, yeah, we have to.
That's what I was saying.
We have to, yeah.
It's,
So, one of our residents and volunteers, walked Nohea and reported that approximately 24 homes appeared occupied, with the possible exception of one property with a realtors for sale sign. As you might know, there's one property on the odd numbered side, also known as the lava side, with a government property sign. One lot on the even side near telephone pole number 41 has a foundation, no walls, and shipping container on site. So there's a considerable amount of people that could be contacted for their opinion. It's not like, done, you know? So,
But it would open up quite a few properties too, on both sides of Leilani at the end and also on Nohea. Those are all good properties there. That today they can't use. I mean, anyway, we'll be talking about it for a while.
Let's see, on the Dole side, Jennifer, we are on a cash or accrual base? Accrual, okay. So, the expenses, June is posted, but July is not posted, is that correct? Okay, and in June, that's accrual.
I'll bring it up. I don't care.
Some of the expenses like the health and extra expenses were those accrued from the months before.
We're paid within that month. We usually are paid by the 5th of.
Okay, it was about $10,000 in payroll expense. It's a little high.
Well, we take him out vacation time, severance pay,
Okay. Thank you.
I have a few questions. Al, you had said that the first lawsuit is not dismissed,
it is not.
and that's the Penny versus LCA.
Versus the LCA board members, yes.
Okay. Who are the attorneys of record on that?
Ted Hong, that they have now hired as our corporate attorney, is the plaintiff's attorney for Jim Penny. And the attorney for the board members who are being sued is a Gary Nakamoto. Miyamoto, sorry.
Okay, because you said something about a $35,000 deductible, getting that back from the insurance company.
That hasn't been paid. We have a $35 deductible, so the first $35,000 will be billed by Gary's.
Up to 35 could be billed.
After that, the insurance company will be responsible. Right. But I don't think we reached that yet.
No.
So.
You haven't incurred $35,000?
We have not done that money.
And that's on the first lawsuit?
Yes.
And what's the second lawsuit?
When there was 5 members trying to basically take over the board last year and causing us legal expenses.
That got voted into the board.
I get to talk to. And they were costing us legal fees and analysis and cease and desist letters and things like that. So that lawsuit was started to tell them to stop doing it and recover our fees. Basically, what they cost us, we wanted to pay them to pay that back. And that's basically what that lawsuit was about. Now, they're saying the billing is high, but the billing is not just that lawsuit. Some of that's a lawsuit. Some of it, we did have some early analysis on the Jim Penny lawsuit because that was Glenn Horio, and he is an HOA attorney with about 15 years of experience. So he was quite up with that. So that was advantageous to do that. And then we also had some just general business for the LCA that he also did. So that total amount they mentioned is actually a combination of those three things.
So the one guy is the guy that was on retainer by LCA?
Yes.
Okay,
It's just general.
so, in that second lawsuit,
Mhm.
who are the attorneys of record? Because if you're,
Ted Hong.
then in that case, you're the plaintiff.
Ted Hong is defending them in that case. Same
But
attorney.
You're the plaintiff.
Right.
And that's when, and Ted is the defendant's attorney,
That is correct.
and he's the same attorney
We've,
for
and
Penny against,
He's Jim Penny's attorney for the plaintiff.
okay, so that's the guy that is now on retainer from LCA, and our guy is.
There's no
retired?
retainer, there's no
Yes.
retainer for him.
I'm sorry?
There's no retainer paid.
he's not required a retainer.
Well,
Yeah,
He's
he's
got
the one,
history with
he's the one that will be advising the LCA on legal matters. At the same time, there's two lawsuits pending.
What they call it,
Well, if he's,
Why wouldn't we
that-
get
that-
just a
that is-
fresh,
if he's plaintiff,
somebody not?
he is the plaintiff's attorney on the one lawsuit. And the defendant's attorney on the second lawsuit,
Correct?
and now he's advising the LCA.
Yes.
Isn't that a conflict of interest?
Clear.
What is it?
Clearly.
Administration?
There's a document, there's actually a state document called, I have it here. Give me 1 second here.
he's been hired by us to represent the LCA, not on lawsuit order, not on lawsuit business, period.
Yeah, but why?
Because the guy's great.
We're entitled
The
to
guy's great.
have an attorney
Well,
to,
yeah, I'm just saying,
Right, there-
And you guys want to hire.
If I could finish the answer for it.
exactly.
If I could finish your answer here, so there's a state document called the Hawaii Rules of Professional Conduct. And that's how many pages that looks like he's in conflict with on that. So he's got a lot of conflicts technically on that, so.
So, what does it take to get this in front of the judge? To.
The proper thing to do.
Conflict finding stuff, interest like that, he has to be ticked off of one end or the other.
The proper thing to do in this case is there's a state office called the Office of Disciplinary Counsel. And for cases like this where there's a conflict and people want to file a complaint, they can do that with that office. If you'd like me to give you information, I will. So
Well, how is the guy going to advise us for free?
that's my question. He's not, well, they're gonna, it's not free, right?
You know,
You said you hired him to advise us.
We
that's
don't have a
right.
retainer, but he's gonna bill us.
But he's gonna bill us in case.
How is he
We're
gonna
gonna pay him, right?
How is he gonna advise us for free? No lawyer. is
No,
he?
well, who said for free? Who said it was free? Yeah, yeah.
Just one quick note on the what they call the Jim.
I'm sorry?
One quick note on the Jim Penny lawsuit. That lawsuit, it wasn't Jim Penny. It was the five of us. We sued these guys to try to get rid of them. But the lawsuit was against the three of them individually, so they couldn't use D&O insurance to cover their legal fees. We didn't sue the LCA. We sued the three of them individually, so they couldn't use D&O insurance.
But
That was the
they sued us.
intent from day one.
They sued us for doing our job on the board.
Oh,
So, yeah, it's exactly,
So you're covered by
if we weren't on the board, they wouldn't have sued us, so
Right.
it's because of our board.
Right.
And the insurance company understood that,
Sure.
they accepted it, and as far as the document you mentioned right there, that was part of all the documents in the complaint, so they've had it from the beginning, and they know it. You don't have
And
to.
they have it now again.
So going back to my question,
Yes.
how is it that you hired this guy to advise the LCA and not pay him anything? Is he working for free?
No, he built it. He built it.
Pay as you go.
I'm sorry, he built us?
He built it, yeah. The lawsuit, up to this point, we being members here, and we need more money from all of you, we've been self-funding that.
Well, of course you have, because you're my question is, if you've got him advising us,
Like,
if you've got him advising us,
Yeah, he will be.
and he bills you for the advice he gives, how are we to know that he isn't using that money that he's getting billed for to continue on with your lawsuit? you know, just to bankroll
Will
your.
we be able to review the invoices?
Their invoices are very specific, very specific. Every phone call, every email.
Well, I can
Yeah.
understand very
Will-
specific,
Yeah.
but by the same token, if he's.
Okay,
if he's
Okay,
like-
that's enough.
if he's like-
Okay. All right, let's move on, let's move on. Let's move on.
At the annual meeting, we voted to stop all lawsuits. Where does that stand as a member? I mean, do we not have any power to voice our opinions, make a vote and have it stand?
Well, this is the thing, Ann, it was a unanimous vote, pretty much, to stop the lawsuits. And what we did is, after we selected board members' positions, okay, one of the first things we did is we held an executive session, and we decided that we were going to vote symbolically to recognize the motions made by the members. And I'm not sure what number was the motion for the, anyhow, doesn't matter which number it was. We voted 4-2, okay, to end the lawsuit and to dismiss the attorneys. Days later, the attorney was contacted by phone, which I found out doesn't necessarily count. You have to send a notice in writing to Glenn Horio. So you have to send a notice in writing. We did that, okay, and we let him know that we're no longer interested in having him represent the LCA, and we're wanting to drop the lawsuit. And we've made numerous attempts through mediation, several attempts to drop the lawsuit. We've offered various scenarios, you know, and nothing is. It's always wait. And here we are still. We went to court on July 30th, okay, and we were 25th. I'm sorry, and we had a motion before the court to dismiss the suit, and there was sanctions to be held against not only their attorney, but against Rod and Al to pay their own bills, because this lawsuit wasn't vocalized to the membership. I'm talking, please. It was not vocalized to the membership. I mean, I didn't know. Okay, so the attorney, they're speaking of Glenn Horio, did basically a legal maneuver where he eked out another 90 days. The judge granted him till November for discovery purposes, I believe is the term. But all of this time, we've been trying to shut down the suits. And one of the reasons why they don't want to shut it down is because the money that's owed to this lawyer, when Al and Rod were still in position as president and treasurer, they had accumulated 30,000 roughly of bills that they did not pay. They ignored their fiduciary responsibility to pay that lawyer. And when we come into the office, it was like buying a house and every room's got a toilet overflowing. We've got all these problems with the finances. We've got problems with the legals. We're finding invoices for lawyers here, for there. Okay? So we step into it. And now, we've told them, do not spend any more money on lawyers. We don't want anything to do with Glenn Horio. And this guy keeps calling. He's like the herpes. He won't go away. He call and call and call. Well, you want representation here? You want representation here? No, leave us alone. He's harassing board members. He's to the point where we're going to have a TRO on him possibly. Okay? We don't want anything to do with that.
Okay. Mr. Sagala, you're being defamatory, you're being offensive. I think you should apologize.
I'm sorry.
In the element of discovery,
Yeah.
can we as members write letters stating that we voiced an opinion, we stood on that annual meeting to dismiss these cases? And can we, I mean, what can we do?
Well, nothing seems to work because they won't give it up. They won't give it up.
They won't stop.
But to go to the judge.
They want to keep using this guy.
Would you like the rest of the answer, please? Would you like a little more information? So when they say they voted, when they said they voted.
There's already a vote. I'm interested in that, in ending all of this and stopping the lawsuits and making the responsibility for the people who owe to the attorneys that they are talking to.
Right.
And not out of our pocket.
Right.
We've lost so much money in this community in the last 2 years from mishandling. It's gotta stop. We gotta put a hole in it.
That's
We
right.
gotta end it. We've got an incredible.
Then here's your answer. Don't give money to Jim Penny, so he sues board members. That's what did all this. Don't go out and have it.
He didn't, that's one of the things. Hold on.
So no information
Yeah, over
about
there.
the legal status of the roads such as Luana Street, that are like the roads that cover the block, what is the legal status of that? Like, can I walk on those roads?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Start
yeah.
shopping out there? So what is my recourse if a member of this community is harassing me, like, what are you guys walking into about that?
Geez, who would do that?
As long as you're on a roadway, there's nothing they can say or do about it.
Well, so someone in here owns the Leilani Community page, and I was recently kicked off of it because I video recorded him, like harassing me on the roadway and blocking my vehicle. One, I would actually like to be on the community, not because, because I'm part of the community, but I think voicing that and I think in this day and age, transparency is a good thing, regardless of who you vote for. So, yeah, I just came here to ask that question, and please don't harass me ever again. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone. Shut them up.
All right, hey, thank you.
Mary Ann?
All right,
Yeah, I just have a couple, things I'd like to say. First of all, thank you to the, 2025 board officers who voted to reimburse me for the ballot mailing of 2021, which was the first year, which was the year that particular board majority chose to start vetting, people to eliminate and did not hold an election that year. That's true. We didn't hold an election that year.
So why'd you buy ballots?
No, we're not.
Why you?
Could I just finish?
hold on, keep it down. Keep it down.
She has the floor. She has the floor.
I'll try and do as little 3 minutes as I can.
She has
The
the floor.
bottom line is, there was 3 of us that could have done better on that, not just myself. The man that was elected here, you probably helped elect. He's not been here for any board meetings to speak, to do anything. So that is actually my final question. Just a minute, I want to just finish what I was trying to say. I also want to thank those brave neighbors who stepped up willingly to be nominated so we could hold an election this year. I am probably not the only one of them who is glad to be serving as on a working group, volunteering our time behind the scenes. My question is, the 3 directors that were elected this year, what have you been doing for the community since you were elected? Obviously, one is not here, so the rest is for you too.
You asked me a question?
I can answer it.
You guys just said a meeting.
You didn't ask you.
Just a quick note, she called out Greg Armstrong, who's not here, hasn't been in a meeting yet. Per last board meeting, the group says, Rich, you need to write the guy a letter, ask him to resign. He's not coming to meetings. We don't need him. We need somebody on the team here that's going to do some work. And so I did. I wrote him a letter and just, politely, just between he and I didn't copy anybody. Anyway, I wrote him a letter and asked him, please resign from the board. We don't need you. And he hasn't responded. He still didn't show up.
Because it was rude.
Yeah. So I asked him to resign. Why? He's not here. He hasn't shown up. He hasn't done anything. We need help.
Maybe you should get out of the hospital first.
We need help.
But, we're not just disparaging Greg. We understand he has health issues, but I think a lot of us, maybe not just on this side of the table, but on this side of the table, wonder if a guy is run for the board to serve, and he can be doing bingo, and he can be doing neighborhood watch, and he can be doing the yard sale, but he can't make the commitment to come here. This is very important. And I'm sure you noticed this evening, there's a lot of people stepping up committees. There's a lot of communication and coordination needed. And we're looking to have more active members. That's all my point of view is. I'm not saying Greg needs to jump out of his hospital bed and hop down here. We're just saying, give somebody else a chance and please take care of your health. That's paramount to him. But paramount to us is to have a functioning board. That's all I really want to say.
Hey, just a quick question. I'm still baffled. Going forward with all that bad blood and lawsuits and everything, why would this new board choose to retain an attorney that's part of that whole mess? Why wouldn't we go with a fresh start with somebody with no conflict of interest to advise you guys going forward.
No,
90
Why
days,
wouldn't
90
we do
days.
this? Why wouldn't we pick somebody that has nothing to do with all the bad blood, all the bad drama? Why would, going forward,
want me to
wouldn't
answer?
that be like Chris?
Let him answer.
You want me to answer?
Yeah, clean hands, somebody that doesn't have.
You want me to answer? Okay.
Yeah.
So when we were trying to find a new representative, legal representative, our goal was to have somebody on the Big Island, okay? Preferably this side. So if we need to consult or they need to come to the meeting, it's not a huge expense, okay? So if you go through any, I call them yellow pages, but you know what I mean. You go through any search to find lawyers, okay? Now, narrow the scope to ones that have specialty of HOA experience, okay? You look at the cream of the crop, they're busy, okay? The ones that represent HOAs, they are very much in need and sought after. This fella, Ted Hong, let's just set aside the legal work he does. His reputation is such that he's hired by many of the HOAs from Hilo outward and down this way, a lot like HPP. He's a reputable person, and I try to think of it this way in the terms of conflict of interest. When you go to a doctor to get yourself fixed, it doesn't matter if he's a Republican or Democrat, he's going to do his job to fix you. So when we hire this attorney, we're asking him to give us the best advice possible on the very complicated situations that arise. And he's had a good track record of doing that. When he comes in the office and opinion, he doesn't say, well, this is good for Rich, Smiley, and Janice. Screw, it's not like that. He's answering questions based on what we bring him. That's it. It's not parsed in a biased way, from my experience, from what I've seen. So I hope I'm able to answer your question.
Not only are they busy, but as soon as we mention the Lonnie Estate,
They say,
they don't want to be part of it. Yeah, and for Ted Hong, the guy's argued cases in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. The guy's really, really sharp. We asked him to give us 90 days.
90
Give
days.
us 90 days.
90 days.
Because we need to get through this lawsuit and settle it and be out of here.
Well, after the 90 days going forward, we're gonna have somebody that's.
We gotta find somebody. We gotta find somebody. Yeah, we've been looking. Yeah, we want somebody local. We used to go into Pahoa and walk up the stairs, and it was that easy for many years.
But on
We need somebody local.
But on the same token, Sean, we don't want, when we talk about conflict of interest, that's what this board is. It's a conflict of interest. We're divided through numerous entanglements. So when they say, oh, we hired this Glenn Horio and he's going to rewrite things and do this, that's a kind of a slap in the face to the other. So you see what we're saying? It's not like they're the only ones that have
Suggesting getting
a fresh start.
No, we will. We will. We know that. We know that. Yeah, we know that.
We agree.
I have a question. Can
Okay.
you pass a motion to hire another lawyer?
She actually raised her hand, but you guys have a question.
Not paying the current attorneys and fighting against that isn't gonna help you find another attorney.
Say it again?
Fighting to not pay the two of our attorneys that we had already is not gonna help you find another.
You should have
attorney.
paid
They
them
don't
when you
want
had the chance instead of ignore that.
Gene?
I have a real, subject.
Okay.
Thank God. I was there for the start of the newest Malone car fire.
Oh, yeah.
The fire department.
Yeah.
Watched it and talked around to the neighbors. And apparently, it's a regular burning ground. I've noticed they've got 6, 7 cars
Right.
that have burned in there.
Right.
And apparently, if the guy comes over, he picks up the latest car that's burned and says, what's that? What's that trash bill and the SUV issue?
Yeah.
The CRV.
Yeah.
And then he hauled that away and ripped the new one in and he set that one on fire.
Yeah.
Only that one has no engine, no
Right.
interior, no story, nothing. This is the other part of the story. It gets good, but valuable part, this is hauled over to the law.
Right, burn it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, is there anything we can do to stop people from hiring guns in their yards, like this bad people over there? There's one, down the road with, there's 7 burned out cars within a few of the street.
Yeah, we're familiar with that.
Yeah. So is there anything we can do to prevent people from using their cars, their yards as car zones and then set them on fire?
last few days, we've been talking to the county to try to get them to move these things out of there, right?
Well, it's my understanding that small as some private property, they can't do that.
The county foreclosed on that place and tried to sell it at the last auction.
The CRP that she's talking about, the Dr. Lake, had the police sticker that.
Yeah, right.
It was there for 3 months and they never took it away.
Longer than that, a lot longer. It's there a long time.
They're not
Okay.
being called out what they should be.
Okay.
And we don't see who should be powerless to.
In the past, Neighborhood Watch bird dog that stuff, and they chased they got the haulers in here and they hauled the cars off. They called the police. So we'll talk to Greg.
There's probably 4 more behind the burnt out.
Oh yeah, I know. There's a bunch of them in there. I know. Yeah. Okay. Thanks,
The
Chief.
county owned it now?
Thank you.
County owned this lot?
It's a tax deal,
Yeah,
it's like a
they
tax.
foreclosed on it. That's what we're telling them. We're telling them.
I
Yeah.
thought they tried to sell it at the last auction.
Yeah, they tried to sell it. Yeah. So we're telling them you got to come and pick it up. You got to come clean these cars out. So anyway, we're talking to them right now.
Well, surely
Thank
they're
you.
doing something with regard to pollution.
Oh.
For the way it's polluting.
Oh, yeah.
the land.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, if you actually made a decision not to pay Oreo, and if so, do you feel like you might be setting yourself up for your soon elsewhere? Because you can't not pay them. It's obstruction of justice. You
We
have
told
to-
him.
we have to-
Hold on, I'll answer your question.
But I'm flushing it out.
Oh.
We paid with their associates 2 years after the bill they for 2 years.
Oh, so we got more time. We got more time.
People probably sue the LCA if you don't pay them.
We told them. We've said from day one when the lawsuit settles, we'll talk money. When a lawsuit settles, we'll talk money, and these guys know that, and yet they keep extending it and extending it and extending it. So okay. Let's
That's a lie. The blatant lie.
Whatever you wanna do.
So hold on.
I just want to talk 2 things. First, bylaws, corrections. I would like to consider putting a bylaw in which other LCAs have, that if someone misses 3 meetings in a row, it's their resignation. And that's like work. If you miss 3 days of work, and without anything, you're resigned. I want you to know, because I have firsthand knowledge of all this. After the election, Horio was told immediately, do not do anything more because we're not paying you. And Rod and what's his name, Al, keep contacting you. They will not settle. We've been trying to settle this thing, both of them, all of them, and they will not settle. And I don't know, they're responsible for all the charges with Horio after the 4th of April or whatever the date is. The man is a horrible person. He keeps harassing people on the board. We're going to do a thing to perhaps have him removed from law, but he's a horrible person. When you talk about it, you don't know. I've heard the same thing about Ted Hawk, that he's doing it.
Thank you.
I speak the truth. I am not I'm not.
We're sure you're not conflicted, you know, that's fine.
I am not conflicted.
But
Nobody would like this to be settled anymore than I. And it's you two
Do I get
being guided by Greg, because he tells you what to do in your.
Hey, let's adjourn this thing. Thank you.
I tried to start hitting home for Scala. I had a question for that. You said I could do it later. Let's do that. Look, I got a call.
Anybody else hearing geothermal?
A lot of people.
We probably got out of that.
I'm aware of it. That's as long as I.
Two board meetings, one